Hey everyone, it's Synchron here, and today I want to bring you all a couple of Battlewasp combos. These combos basically showcase what the deck can do, as well with Primitive Butterfly and Foolish Burial. So I hope you all enjoyed. Let's get into it. For this first combo, we are going to need Battlewasp Rapid Fire and Foolish Burial. First, we are going to activate our Foolish Burial in our hand to send Battlewasp Sting the Poison, the tuner of the deck, and if this card is an summon special summon, add a Battlewasp monster from your deck to your hand except itself. And quick effect, you contribute another insect monster, then target an effective monster your opponent controls. It has its effects negated until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. So we're going to send it to the grave, as well as our Foolish Burial. Then we are going to normal summon our Rapid Fire in our hand. What this card does is when it is normal summoned, you can target a level 3, or lower monster, insect monster in your grave, special summon it in defense position, and if this card in its owner's position is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon one Battlewasp monster from your hand or deck. Both effects once per turn. So we are going to normal summon Rapid Fire. We are going to then special summon Sting of the Poison. Sting of the Poison's effect, add a Battlewasp monster from your deck to your hand when normal summon or special summon. And the main target we're going to go for is Battlewasp Pin the Bullseye. Insect level 1. If you control an insect monster, special summon this card from your hand. And during your main phase, you can inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp Pin the Bullseye you control. And since we want to control one, we really only just inflict 200 points of damage to our opponent. So we're going to summon it, main phase, inflict 200 to our opponent. And what we're going to do here, we could either synchro summon, but we're not going to do that. We are actually going to use Bullseye, if I can grab it, after inflicting 200 damage to our opponent, sending it to the grave for a link summon of Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh level 1 requirement, and when the opponent's monster declares an attack, you contribute this card, change the opponent's monster's attack to 0 during the end until the end of this turn. And with this card in the grave, tribute a level 1 monster, special summon it back to your field. So I'm just gonna move these down a little bit. Linkuriboh. Now we have a level 2 and a level 6. We are going to use these two for the synchro summon of our level 6 Battlewasp monster, Battlewasp Halberd the Charge. Insect Tuner, which we just did, and non-tuner monster once per battle during damage calculation. If this card attacks an opponent's monster with equal or higher attack quick effect, you can have that opponent's monster during the damage step only. And when this card does damage to your opponent, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp monster you control. And unfortunately, we only control one Battlewasp monster at this moment, so the end board would be your Linkuriboh to help out with your opponent's problematic monsters if they manage to attack, as well as Battlewasp Charge, which allows you, if anything, just helps you get over opponent's problematic boss monsters if this were turn 2. But if this were turn 1, you at least have a Linkuriboh on your side of the field to help out if your opponent tries to swing over your Herald the Charge. Combo number 2, you are really going to just need Sting of the Poison as well as Twinbow the Attacker in your hand. Like I said, Sting, what it does is a normal summon special summon, add a Battlewasp monster from your deck to your hand, except itself, and Twinbow the Attacker during main phase. You can special summon this card from your hand, but you are restricted to insect monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. So first we are going to normal summon our Sting of the Poison. Normal summon special summon, we are going to add a Battlewasp monster as long as it's not itself. So we're going to add Pin the Bullseye. However, we are not going to special summon it yet. We are going to now activate the effect of Twinbow the Attacker in our hand. During the main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. And again, you are restricted from the summons of the extra deck except for summons of an insect monster. Level 2, level 5, we are going to synchro summon for the Battlewasp Azusa, the Ghost Bow, at level 5. Generic material, Synchro Tuner. When your opponent takes damage from the effect of another Battlewasp monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster. You can only use the effect once per turn. The effect of Ghost Bow once per turn. And, when a monster is destroyed by battle with your Battlewasp monster, while this card is in the grave, you can special summon it in defensive position, but banish it when it leaves the field. So now, since we have Ghost Bow on the field, and we as well have a pin, the bullseye in our hand, and we control an insect monster, we are going to special summon Pinhead, inflict 200 points of damage to our opponent, goes to effect. If your opponent takes damage from the effect of a Battlewasp monster, we're going to inflict additional damage of bullseye's attack. And if you want, you can synchro summon, since Ghost Bow is a level 5 tuner and Pin is a level 1. So this is optional. You don't have to synchro summon. But like I said, we are still restricted to the effects of Twin Bow. Yeah, Twin Bow. We're still restricted to insect monsters in the grave. So we are going to go for a level 6 Halberd. Like I said, this is optional. You don't have to go for this, but it is there. Insect, 1 insect tuner, 1 non-tuner monster, which we just did. But for battle, during the damage calculation, if this card attacks an opponent's monster with equal attack or higher attack with effect, you can make that monster's attack become half its attack during damage calculation only. And when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, inflict 200 additional damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp monster you control. So in a sense, battle phase, attack, higher monster, half its attack, destroy it, and if it does destroy it, just inflict 200 damage to your opponent since you already control 1 Battlewasp monster. And since Azusa is in the grave, and when a monster is destroyed by battle with a Battlewasp monster, which more likely Halberg will do, if your opponent doesn't have any responses to that. And like I said, Ghost Bow is in the grave. Once it's in the grave, you can special summon this card defensive position, but banish it when it leaves the field. But yeah, that does it for this combo. For this next combo, you are going to need Primitive Butterfly, Foolish Burial, and Rapid Fire in your hand. So, turn 1 or turn 2, so say we control no monsters, we are allowed to actually special summon Primitive Butterfly, then activate Foolish Burial, sending Sting the Poison to our grave. Then we are going to normal summon our 1 Rapid Fire in our hand to target poison in our grave, special summon it. Poison's effect, we are going to add Pit Bullseye from our deck to our hand. We are then going to use Bullseye as well as our tuner, being poisoned, for a synchro summon of Metal Marcher. What Metal Marcher does, it is a tuner. And if this card is synchro summon, target a tuner in your grave, special summon in defense position, but it has effects negated. And a synchro summon monster using this card as material becomes a tuner as well. So we're gonna activate that effect. Bring back the poison. And Marshal's level 3. Primitive Butterfly is a level 5. So we're going to go for the synchro summon of a level 8 now. That level 8 being the Conjuring Bow, Battlewasp of the deck. If this card is synchro summoned, using a synchro monster as material, which we just did, Martial Metal, it can make a second attack during the battle phase, and you can only use each effect of Conjuring Bow, each effect of Conjuring Bow once per turn. So, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can have all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack. And at the end of the damage step, if your opponent has not taken any battle damage to this phase, you can inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp in your grave. Now you can't, here's the thing, you can stop here and just leave your board as is. Say attack your opponent's monsters, lower their attack, and inflict damage. Or you can do this. Remember, Martial, Metal Marcher, when used for material, allows the synchro monster to be a tuner. So what we could do, we have a level 8 tuner, we have a level 4 monster for material. We can synchro summon for the final boss monster of the deck, being Battlewasp Armageddon, the level 12 of the deck. Generic materials, if this card is a special summon to banish all, you can banish all insect monsters from your grave. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 500 attack and defense for each of your banished insect monsters. If this card attacks a defensive position monster, it inflicts piercing damage. And if this synchro summoned card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 3 of your banished level 11 or lower insect monsters. So in a sense, if you've been paying attention, in our grave we have Conjuring Bow, Rapid Fire, Pin Bullseye, and Primitive Butterfly, all insect monsters. 5, 10, 15, 20. Your opponent's monsters will lose 2,000 attack and defense that turn. And if your opponent accidentally destroys it by card effect, which theoretically, let's assume they do, and sends it to the grave, remember, these monsters are now banished. And if, in my opinion, you'd obviously want to bring back Conjuring Bow because it is somewhat useful. Either way, if you can't activate its other effects, it is a 2800 beater. Hold on, let me see this. Oh, never mind, you still can use its effects. It's just, the first effect is, it has to be synchro summoned with the synchro material to have 2 attacks during the battle phase. But you still can use its secondary effects. And if you want, go for Rapid Fire and the final monster. Maybe, let's see. Actually, you could go for Pin Bullseye. Before I move on, I wanted to stop that portion of the video to actually continue on with this portion of the video because I had to grab a card. So, say continuing on with that combo, after your opponent destroys, if your opponent theoretically destroys Armageddon, you bring back Conjuring Bow, Rapid Fire, as well as Bullseye. What you could do here, you could Link Summon using Bullseye for Linkuriboh. That's right, he took the air. Okay. And use Poison, as well as Rapid Fire for a synchro summon of a level 6 monster. And if you want, if anything, just go for Herald the Charge. Herald the Charge effects is best when it attacks an opponent's monster. Once per battle phase, during damage calculation, if this card attacks an opponent's monster equal to or higher attack, quick effect, you can have that opponent's monster during the damage step only, and when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp monster you control. So they'll only take like 400 damage, but either way, if you can get over your problematic monster, it's really a win-win. Plus, if you can't get your opponent's life points to 0 and it's their turn, either way, you still have a Linkuriboh to get your opponent's monster to 0 attack if they choose to attack either or. But yeah, that'll finish up that other portion of the combo. I know I said battle phase. I know I said once per battle phase. I'm here to correct myself. Once per battle during damage calculation, etc. So do not correct me in the comments. I corrected myself in that little error. For this combo, it's almost the same as every other combo, except this time we actually need 4 cards in our hand. This one being Dart the Hunter, Why? Because we are going to use Dart the Hunter to inflict a lot more damage to our opponent once we get out our Conjuring Bow. What Dart the Hunter does is basically if a Battlewasp monster you control destroys the opponent's monster by battle that your opponent owned, you can discard this card and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster destroyed by your Battlewasp monster. And the first three, I mean, it's pretty obvious what we're gonna do here. Alright, so, remember the butterfly. While we control our monsters, we can special summon it. And you can use its level effect now, level up effect now, by increasing all insect monsters you control by 1 level, but we might save that or we might not use it, we'll have to see. Activate Foolish Burial, send Poison, normal summon Rapid Fire, special summon Poison. Poison's effect, we're going to add Bullseye, I keep forgetting its name, that we added to our side of the field because Poison's effect, Bullseye's effect. If you control an insect monster, which we clearly do, special summon this card, and oh yeah, forgot. During your main phase, inflict 200 to your opponent for each Battlewasp pin Bullseye you control. So, just easy 200 burn to your opponent. Next, this is literally almost similar to the combo we just did. Yeah, level 3, Marcher, target poison in our grave, special summon it. Let's see, 3. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, okay. We're going to use Primitive Butterfly, as well as Marcher for a Synchro Summon of... Oop, let me get that out of here. Synchro Summon of Conjuring Bow. And theoretically, and here's the thing. You could actually use Primitive Butterfly's effect on Rapid Fire, but either way, I just wanted to use this as material. So I just wanted to point that out. You could have used Butterfly's effect either way. Now Conjuring Bow, since we used a Synchro monster as material, it gains 2 attacks during the battle phase. And as you all know, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, which we will do for the first effect, you can make all monsters your opponent currently control lose 1,000 attack and defense. So, enter the battle phase. Get you down a little bit. Enter the battle phase. Attacks an opponent's monster. They take the damage. And as well, attacks your opponent's monster. They take damage. Whatever that opponent's monster attack was, say 2,500. We are then going to activate our Dart Hunter in our hand by discarding it, and whatever that opponent's monster original attack was, say 2,500. That Conjuring Bow just destroyed. Your opponent takes that 2,500 to the face, basically. And if you remember, Conjuring Bow still has an attack. So, it still has an attack as well as an additional. No, it could still attack, and all monsters your opponent currently control lose 1,000 due to its first effect right there. So, gain another attack. If your opponent's board is clear, or you're lucky enough to have a monster you can run over with Rapid Fire, attack from there. And yeah, that basically concludes this combo. Alright everyone, what did you all think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment what you thought down below. And before I go, I'd like to point out that today's video was mainly to showcase what Battlewasp can do in their purest form. I'm pretty sure there are going to be mixture decks out there, such as the Speedroid variant that I know for a fact might be coming up here and there. But today's combos, like I said, pure variant of Battlewasp, what they can do, etc. So for those all who are watching, I hope you all did learn something about Battlewasp, their potential in the future, and I actually hope you all come up with your own combos for Battlewasp, whether it be a pure version, whether it be something I missed, or whether it be a hybrid deck, like I said, Speedroid maybe, who knows. So yeah, see you all next time.